Yo, the rap world just got rocked, and it's all about to go down at the 2026 Grammys. But here's the twist: 50 Cent might have just made his final move. Yeah, you heard that right. The G-Unit legend, the one who redefined the game, might be pulling off something nobody saw coming, something that could change everything. For years, we've watched the throne pass hands: Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, you name it. But what if before Kendrick, before any of the modern kings of rap, there was 50 Cent? What if, at the biggest stage in music, 50 is about to shake the industry once again with a move that'll leave everyone speechless? But it's not just about 50's music, fam. It's about who he's coming for at the Grammys and what's behind his shocking decision to end his career on his own terms. Fans are already freaking out. Some say it's a power play, others think it's revenge. And get this, there are rumors that this move could be the end of a 20-year feud. Sources say 50's got some unfinished business that he's about to address in a way nobody expected. The streets are already buzzing and the tension is building. What's 50 planning, and why now? Is he about to destroy everything Kendrick has built? Or is it something deeper? One thing's for sure: this move could shake up the entire rap industry forever. Keep watching because, trust me, the details are about to get wild. This is 50 Cent's final game-changing play, and it's going to leave everyone wondering, what happens next? The 2026 Grammy Awards were supposed to be a celebration of the best in music. A night of red carpets, high-profile performances, and the usual round of winners and losers. But little did anyone know, the night was about to take an unexpected turn. The music industry was about to be shaken by the most shocking move in Grammy history, and at the center of it all was none other than 50 Cent. Now let's rewind a bit. For years, 50 Cent has been in the background, still making moves in business, still flexing his empire, but out of the spotlight when it came to music. After his meteoric rise with Get Rich or Die Tryin', and the insane success of G-Unit, 50's presence in the rap game seemed to shift. His once dominant reign started to feel like history, with younger artists like Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole stepping up and claiming the throne. Some fans started to forget just how much 50 Cent had shaped the game. But here's the thing, 50 wasn't done. Far from it. In the weeks leading up to the 2026 Grammys, rumors started swirling. No one knew exactly what was happening, but whispers grew louder. 50 Cent's got something big planned, one insider claimed. Another source close to his camp said, 50's been making calls. You won't believe who he's coming for next. Fans were shocked. 50 Cent wasn't just coming back with a new album. This was bigger, much bigger. The streets had been talking for months. Kendrick Lamar had ruled the rap game for years, making every album an event. But 50 Cent? 50 was always waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The question was, why now? Why in 2026, after Kendrick had established himself as the modern-day king of hip-hop? Here's where it gets crazy. Sources say 50 Cent wasn't just planning a comeback performance. No. He was about to go head-to-head with Kendrick. Not with bars, but with power moves that could challenge everything Kendrick had built in the rap game. People were speculating, could 50 Cent be planning some kind of direct diss to Kendrick? Was he going to show up at the Grammys and overshadow Kendrick's night? It wasn't just the fans who were shocked. Industry insiders had been buzzing about a huge surprise for the 2026 Grammys, and 50 Cent was at the center of it all. Some even believed that the veteran rapper might be eyeing a Grammy award for himself, not just for music, but for his undeniable influence on the culture. Was 50 about to walk in and remind everyone exactly who really shaped modern rap? Then came the final confirmation. Weeks before the Grammys, 50 Cent made a cryptic post on his social media. A simple image of the Grammy trophy with no caption. Fans went wild. Was this just a tease for a new album? Or was there something deeper happening? Then it all went down. An anonymous source, someone who had been working closely with 50's team, let something slip that changed everything. They confirmed that 50 Cent was not only planning to perform, but he had a specific target in mind: Kendrick Lamar. And it wasn't just a random attack. The source said, 50 has a plan to take Kendrick down a peg or two. It's not about the music, it's about the legacy. It's about who gets to define the next era of rap. Hold up, let's break this down. Kendrick Lamar has been the face of modern rap, a once-in-a-generation talent who's earned respect from the streets, the industry, and even beyond. His albums like Good Kid, M.A.A.D. City, and To Pimp a Butterfly changed the conversation around what rap could be, blending social consciousness with personal narratives and poetic genius. His success and influence made him the undisputed king of modern rap. But 50 Cent? He's not the type to just watch the throne. He was the first rapper to make the world fear him, dominating the industry with not just music, but business acumen and a fearlessness that no one could ignore. His infamous beefs, his legendary hits like In Da Club, and his strategic takeover of the hip-hop world with G-Unit made him one of the most influential figures in rap. Some say 50 set the standard for how to run an empire, how to use the music industry to launch everything else. And now, after Kendrick had secured his place, it seemed 50 was ready to remind the world why he was the one who changed the game first. But let's be real, this wasn't just about legacy. This was about pride. For years, 50 Cent had been the shadow in the game, quietly watching as newer artists got their shine, while he remained untouchable, almost untested in the realm of mainstream rap. But now, it seemed like 50 was tired of playing in the background. He was going to make his final move, and he was going to do it at the biggest stage, the Grammys. Now, back to the drama. As soon as the rumors started spreading, the internet went into overdrive. Fans were choosing sides left and right. Kendrick stans were upset, claiming 50 had no place trying to take Kendrick's spot. Others were backing 50, claiming it was his time to remind everyone why he's the true king of rap. The tension on Twitter was palpable, and the streets were buzzing with anticipation. Would 50 show up and take over the night, or was he going to let Kendrick have his moment? Either way, the stakes were high, and the industry was watching closely. Behind the scenes, the pressure was mounting on both sides. Kendrick had been preparing for the 2026 Grammys for months. He knew this was his chance to solidify his place in rap history, to cement his legacy as the greatest of his generation. But now, with 50 Cent in the mix, the question was, could Kendrick handle the heat? Let's dig a little deeper into the real motivations behind 50's actions. Some say that 50 had been watching Kendrick closely, noticing the shift in the industry as younger, newer rappers began to rise. Could it be that 50 felt like his influence was being overshadowed by Kendrick's reign? Was this an attack on Kendrick's legacy? Or was it just 50's way of reminding everyone that he's still the one who set the blueprint for all of this? One insider, who we can't name for security reasons, said, 50 is tired of the new school trying to take over, acting like they're the ones who changed the game. He's looking at Kendrick and thinking, I did that first. And here's where things get even more intense. Allegedly, 50 Cent wasn't just coming for Kendrick with a performance or a diss track. Sources say that 50 had been making private calls to some of the biggest names in hip-hop, getting them to back him up on this. Word on the street is that there were rumors about a secret alliance of OGs who were planning to show up at the Grammys and give Kendrick a taste of what it really means to rule the rap game. As the drama built up, the biggest question on everyone's mind was, would this be 50 Cent's crowning moment? Or would he crash and burn trying to take Kendrick down? There was only one thing left to do: wait for the Grammys, where 50 Cent's final move would unfold for the world to see. But one thing was clear. The game was about to change, and the question was no longer about Kendrick versus 50 Cent. It was about who would define the future of rap. Stay tuned. The biggest chapter in rap history is about to be written, and you don't want to miss it. As the 2026 Grammy Awards approached, the buzz around 50 Cent's shocking return to the spotlight grew louder. The streets were already electric with speculation, and the question on everyone's mind was, what was 50 really planning? Sources close to the G-Unit legend say that 50 had been working in the shadows, making moves that no one could have predicted. It wasn't just about dropping a hot new track or taking the stage for an electrifying performance. Number 50 Cent was playing the long game. He wasn't going to be just another artist on the Grammy stage. He was about to make a statement that would shake the industry to its core. Fans were still reeling from the rumors about the beef between 50 and Kendrick Lamar. But behind the scenes, things were heating up in ways nobody could have foreseen. According to insiders, 50 Cent wasn't just making calls to his team. He was reaching out to some of the biggest names in the game, rallying support for his final move. These were OGs, legends who had been around when 50 himself was still climbing the ranks, making their mark on the rap world. The word on the street was that 50 was trying to form an underground alliance, an alliance of rap royalty that would stand with him on Grammy night. But what was the end game? What was 50 Cent trying to prove? Why now? Let's be real, 50 Cent is no stranger to drama. From his feud with Ja Rule to his legendary beef with Rick Ross, he's always known how to make a spectacle. But what was different this time? This wasn't just about taking shots at other rappers. It was about his place in history. Sources claim 50 had been feeling slighted by the way the game had shifted, and by the way Kendrick Lamar had become the defining voice of rap in the 2010s and 2020s. In fact, whispers started to surface that 50 had been feeling like his legacy was being overshadowed. Kendrick had taken the crown, and 50's been watching from the sidelines, said one source close to 50's camp. 50 built the blueprint for all these guys to follow. He opened doors, changed the game, and now it's like he's forgotten. Kendrick might be the king right now, but 50's not about to let him own the throne without a fight. It's clear now, 50 Cent wasn't just about revenge. This was about control, about making sure everyone knew exactly who had the most influence on modern hip-hop. He wasn't going to let Kendrick's reign go unchallenged. And what better way to shake things up than at the Grammys, the one stage where everything is on the line? As the days ticked down to the ceremony, the tension only grew. Fans of both 50 and Kendrick were voicing their opinions on social media, creating a divide like never before. Some were rallying behind 50, claiming that his contributions to hip-hop deserved to be recognized more than Kendrick's, while others called 50's move petty, a desperate attempt to stay relevant. Meanwhile, Kendrick's fanbase was on high alert, speculating on what kind of drama 50 might be planning. Then came the first official leak, and it wasn't just any regular leak. It was a full-on audio clip that sent the internet into a frenzy. The recording, allegedly captured from a private conversation between 50 and one of his close collaborators, confirmed suspicions about what 50 had planned. In the clip, 50 is heard saying, "They forgot who changed this game. Kendrick might be the voice of this generation, but I'm the one who laid the foundation. I'm not gonna let him have it all. I'll remind these fools what it took to get here. And if it means stepping on some toes, so be it." The streets lost it. Was 50 really about to come for Kendrick that hard? Fans on Twitter were split, some excited for the showdown, others calling it a move driven by ego and bitterness. But no matter the reaction, the clip cemented the fact that 50 was out to make a statement. He wasn't just going to take the back seat while Kendrick continued to dominate the conversation. 50 was ready to play dirty, if that's what it took. But that wasn't even the biggest twist. Behind closed doors, 50 was taking his strategy one step further. He wasn't just planning to diss Kendrick with a few shots or a subtle comment. Allegedly, 50 had been working with some of the biggest players in the Grammy scene to make sure that his performance would be the moment everyone talked about. He was planning something huge, something that would take over the night and overshadow whatever Kendrick was about to do. But what was it? What could 50 be planning that would outshine Kendrick's inevitable performance? Let's go back to the speculation that 50 had been making calls to other OGs in the rap game, names like Jay-Z, Nas, and even Dr. Dre. Rumor has it that 50 reached out to these legends to get their endorsement for his final move on Grammy night. Some insiders believe that 50 was plotting to bring out a powerful, all-star lineup of rap icons to back him up, creating a moment that would leave Kendrick and the entire industry in awe. Sources say that 50 had been preparing for this moment for months, carefully curating his Grammy performance. And the plot thickens. Rumors swirled that 50 had managed to secure exclusive rights to perform one of his biggest hits in front of a live audience, with the added twist of bringing on surprise guests to join him on stage. Was 50 about to pull out the biggest trick of his career and prove that he's the undeniable king of rap? But just when things seemed to be reaching their peak, the first bombshell dropped. A diss track, not from 50 Cent himself, but from one of his most trusted collaborators. The track was straight fire, filled with lines aimed directly at Kendrick Lamar, calling out his reign and questioning his impact on the culture. Fans were shocked. Was this the beginning of 50's retaliation? And if so, what was next? The entire rap world was on edge. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp wasn't exactly sitting back. Word had it that Kendrick had been briefed about 50's movements and was ready for whatever drama the G-Unit mogul was about to stir up. Some say Kendrick had already planned his own counter-strategy, but the real question was, how would he handle 50's attack on his legacy? The stage was set, and the stakes were higher than ever. Kendrick was about to defend everything he had worked for, while 50 was on the attack, looking to remind the world who laid the foundation for hip-hop's modern era. The Grammys were just days away, and as the clock ticked down, everyone was on the edge of their seat. Was 50 Cent about to end his career with the greatest move in hip-hop history, or was Kendrick ready to shut down 50's final play with an even bigger statement? One thing was clear, this wasn't just about music anymore. This was about legacy, and 50 Cent was ready to put everything on the line to make sure his place in history was locked in. The tension was reaching a boiling point, and Grammy night would be the stage where it all unfolded. Stay tuned, because this drama is far from over. You won't believe what happens next. The 2026 Grammys were fast approaching, and the streets were alive with whispers, gossip, and speculation. The buzz wasn't about the nominees, the performances, or even the biggest names in music anymore. No, the world's attention had shifted to one thing: 50 Cent's final move. With every passing day, the stakes were rising. And now, as the world prepared for one of the most anticipated nights in music, it was clear. 50 Cent was about to make history again, but at what cost? It all came to a head when 50 Cent's team released a cryptic statement hours before the Grammy ceremony. The message? The king is back, and this time, there's no throne left for anyone else. Fans and industry insiders were shocked. Was this 50's official announcement that he was stepping into the limelight to claim what was rightfully his, the crown of hip-hop? Or was this the opening salvo of a battle that was about to tear the industry apart? As soon as the statement hit, social media exploded. Twitter was flooded with reactions, memes, and predictions. #50 Cent final move began trending, but what no one expected were the fan wars that broke out. The tension between 50's loyal fanbase, the G-Unit diehards, and Kendrick's massive following was palpable. On one side, you had the legends backing 50, calling him the true architect of modern rap. On the other side, Kendrick fans were pushing back, accusing 50 of being washed up, jealous, and desperate for relevance. The divide was real. Fans started dragging up old interviews, moments from both 50's and Kendrick's careers that painted a picture of how this moment had been coming for years. 50 had always been known for controversy, but now it felt like it was escalating to something far more intense. Was it just another classic 50 Cent beef, or was he really out to prove something? Behind the scenes, Baby's team had been scrambling. Allegedly, 50 had been working overtime to make his performance at the Grammys a statement. According to sources, he was planning a dramatic entrance, not just to take the stage, but to make a public display that would eclipse anything Kendrick or any other rapper had ever done. And here's the kicker. 50 had planned to bring out a surprise guest, someone who would shift the entire narrative of the night. Was it Jay-Z? Nuz? Maybe even someone from his own camp, an old G-Unit collaborator. No one knew, but everyone was guessing. Every time a new clue dropped, speculation reached a fever pitch. The question wasn't if he was coming for Kendrick, it was how. Then, things took a wild turn. The night before the Grammys, a leaked conversation surfaced online, sending shockwaves through the rap world. The audio, allegedly from a phone call between 50 and one of his most trusted collaborators, was pure fire. In it, 50 could be heard saying, "I've been quiet long enough. They think they can push me out? Nah, I'm going to remind them who the real boss is. Kendrick, he's good, but he ain't the king. Not yet, at least. I'm taking back what's mine." Fans immediately flipped. Was this a direct challenge to Kendrick's dominance? Was 50 really about to destroy Kendrick's reputation and legacy on live TV? The idea that 50 was coming for Kendrick's crown wasn't just speculation now, it was becoming an undeniable reality. And with that reality came a wave of emotions from everyone involved. The Grammys were the next day, and all anyone could talk about was the potential showdown. 50 was ready to make his statement on the biggest stage in music, and now the whole world was waiting for the aftermath. But things didn't stop there. The night before the ceremony, Kendrick Lamar's team, ever vigilant, got wind of the situation. They were on edge. Sources close to Kendrick said he was aware of the tension, but wasn't about to let 50 steal his spotlight. Kendrick's camp was already planning their counter-strategy. And this time, it wasn't about music or bars. Kendrick was reportedly ready to take the high road and show 50 that his reign wasn't about petty beefs. Instead, Kendrick's goal was to elevate the culture, not engage in low-level drama. But when you've been in the game as long as 50 Cent, you know how to make the first move. 50's camp made sure he was the center of attention before the Grammys even started. As Kendrick's team prepped for their big night, 50 Cent was already causing waves, filling the airwaves with interviews, promoting his comeback, and teasing cryptic posts on social media. Fans were clamoring for any bit of information, and 50 played them like a fiddle. Then, hours before the event, another unexpected bombshell dropped. A video surfaced showing 50 Cent's private rehearsal for his Grammy performance. What no one expected was the sight of Kendrick's closest allies, some of the biggest names in hip-hop, showing up at 50's rehearsal. Was this a sign of unity in the face of Kendrick's dominance? Or was it an indication of something much darker? Could 50 have been aligning himself with some of the very people Kendrick once called allies? The internet exploded. Kendrick's fans were livid, saying that 50 was trying to manipulate the narrative by bringing in rivals who once had beef with Kendrick himself. Some fans started digging, pulling up old moments when 50 and these artists had clashed with Kendrick. Could this be part of 50's master plan to weaken Kendrick's support network? While all of this drama was unfolding online, the real action was happening in real time at the Grammys' red carpet. Fans, critics, and industry insiders were all trying to piece together the puzzle. What was 50 really planning? Was he here to take Kendrick down, or was this a strategic move to reassert his place in rap history? The night of the ceremony arrived, and the tension could be cut with a knife. 50 Cent walked onto the red carpet, dressed in his signature sharp, businesslike style. His demeanor was calm, but his eyes betrayed a certain calculating focus. He was ready for whatever came next. But then, something shocking happened. Kendrick Lamar's entrance was nothing short of legendary. The crowd went wild. Dressed in a sleek, all-black suit with a subtle nod to his "To Pimp a Butterfly" days, Kendrick commanded the room as only he could. You could feel the weight of years of success and respect in his presence. The question on everyone's mind, how would 50 respond? Minutes later, 50 Cent took the stage, and that's when the fireworks started. He didn't open with music. No, instead, he began speaking calmly, but with a tone that made everyone in the audience lean in. 50 Cent, for the first time in years, used his platform to take aim, not directly at Kendrick, but at the system that had kept him sidelined for so long. He didn't go after Kendrick's artistry, but instead, he took a shot at the new generation of rap, calling them out for being safe, commercial, and not authentic. It was a move straight out of 50's playbook. A strategic attack aimed at taking the wind out of Kendrick's sails. The reaction was immediate and intense. The crowd was caught off guard, and the cameras zoomed in on Kendrick's reaction. Was this the moment Kendrick had been expecting? Was 50 trying to steal his thunder in front of everyone? But as the night wore on, it became clear. This was only just the beginning. Baby was far from done, and Kendrick's fans weren't backing down either. Who would stand tall in this war of words, power moves, and legacy? The night was still young, and 50's final move was about to come to a head. Stay tuned, because what happens next could change everything you thought you knew about rap history. The real showdown? It's just heating up. By now, the 2026 Grammys were no longer just about music. The battle between 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar had dominated the headlines, sending shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community. What started as a playful tease, a cryptic social media post, and an online rumor had now become a full-blown spectacle. The night was electric with the anticipation of what was to come next. As we all know, 50 Cent has never been one to shy away from controversy. His entire career has been built on making moves that keep the industry guessing, and this year's Grammy performance was no exception. But as the night unfolded, it was clear that 50's final move wasn't just about him stealing the spotlight or taking Kendrick down. This was a power play that threatened to alter the entire course of rap's future. Let's break down what went down next because it was nothing short of crazy. After 50's calculated words on the red carpet, everyone was left wondering what would happen during his performance. Would he continue his verbal assault on the younger generation, or would he step it up with something more drastic? Kendrick had already set the bar for his performance, exuding confidence and power. But 50 Cent had been preparing for this moment for too long, and his stage presence was about to shock the world. When 50 finally took the stage, the atmosphere was palpable. The lights dimmed, the bass thumped, and the crowd was on the edge of their seats. Then, 50 stepped out, dressed in an all-black ensemble, flanked by his G-Unit crew. But this wasn't a regular performance, it was an event. There was no flashy introduction or high-energy opener. Instead, 50 walked to the center of the stage and, for a moment, simply stared into the audience. The tension in the air was so thick you could feel it. And then it happened. 50, the man who had always been in control of the spotlight, grabbed the microphone and uttered the words that would define his final move. "I've been quiet for too long," he said, his voice calm but powerful. "Y'all thought Kendrick had it all figured out. Thought he was the voice of a generation. But let me tell you something, before Kendrick, there was 50 Cent. I opened the doors, I paved the way, and no one gets to rewrite history." The crowd went silent. Some people in the audience were in shock, others were visibly uncomfortable. This wasn't just a performance. This was a message. 50 wasn't here for some cute Grammy moment. He was here to remind everyone of his legacy, to make it crystal clear that he had been the one to redefine the rap game in the early 2000s. He wasn't going to let Kendrick's moment pass by without taking back his share of the spotlight. As 50 spoke, Kendrick's fans began to boil with frustration. How dare 50 show up and try to overshadow Kendrick's success? How dare he undermine everything Kendrick had accomplished? But that was the exact point. 50 wasn't just targeting Kendrick's career. He was making a statement to the entire industry, calling out the shift that had pushed him to the side while the new generation of rappers took over. 50's words hit harder than any diss track ever could. "You don't get to take what I built and pretend like it's yours. This ain't a new era, it's just a continuation of what I started." But then, the twist no one saw coming. 50 Cent's performance turned into something even bigger than just a declaration. In the middle of the stage, a massive screen dropped, showcasing a series of images that told the story of 50's career, from G-Unit's rise to his beefs with the likes of Ja Rule and Rick Ross, to the massive business empire he built after rap. His entire legacy was laid out for the world to see, and as the images flashed, the crowd began to realize just how much influence 50 had had on the rap game. But just as people thought they'd seen it all, Kendrick made his move. Kendrick had been watching the entire performance backstage, no doubt stewing in the intensity of it all. The backlash from 50's words had hit hard, but Kendrick had been prepared. And in the ultimate show of grace under pressure, Kendrick emerged from behind the curtains, walking onto the stage during 50's set. He was calm, collected, but his presence was undeniable. He knew that 50 had just tried to make the biggest power move in hip-hop history, but Kendrick wasn't about to let him take his moment. With the world watching, Kendrick walked right up to 50, facing him down on the stage in front of millions. The crowd held its breath. What was going to happen next? Were we about to witness a physical altercation, a public humiliation, or something even more dramatic? Then Kendrick spoke, and his words stopped everyone in their tracks. "You're right," Kendrick said, eyes locked on 50, his voice steady. "You did open doors, you did make this thing what it is today. But this ain't about you or me. This is about where we go next. And I'm not trying to fight you for a throne. I'm trying to elevate the culture. And I've been doing it my way." The tension between them was electric. The entire room was holding its breath, but Kendrick wasn't backing down. He wasn't going to let 50's challenge derail everything he had worked for. Kendrick wasn't here to battle 50 for some symbolic crown. No, Kendrick had made his own path, and he was going to show everyone that the future of rap wasn't about competing with the past, it was about pushing the culture forward together. The crowd erupted in applause. It was clear that Kendrick had just won the moment, but the battle wasn't over yet. 50 wasn't done. He was too proud, too determined to let this moment slide without another jab. "You're right," 50 said, his tone shifting, almost playfully. "But let's see if you can keep it when the game changes." He gave Kendrick a quick nod, a sign of respect, before turning back to his performance. And just like that, the moment passed. But the drama didn't end there. As Kendrick and 50 stood on the stage, the reality of the situation began to sink in. This wasn't just about 50 taking shots at Kendrick or Kendrick proving his dominance. This was about the passing of the torch. But the question remained, who really held the torch? The performance wound down with both artists sharing the stage, but it was clear this wasn't a friendly moment. This wasn't a handshake. This was two kings facing off for the same crown. This was two kings facing off for the same crown. Backstage, sources say the tension was palpable. 50's team was ready for the aftermath, knowing that no matter what happened in the spotlight, the damage had been done. Meanwhile, Kendrick's team was quietly celebrating the way their artist handled the situation. He had kept his cool, responded with class, and proved that the throne wasn't up for grabs, it was his, and everyone in the game knew it. But the aftermath of the night? It wasn't just about the performance, it was about the consequences. The following days were filled with backlash, praise, and endless debate. Fans argued, critics weighed in, and everyone tried to piece together what had just happened. Was 50's move calculated? Was it all just a publicity stunt? Or did he really have a vendetta against Kendrick? But the real question remained. Did 50's final move change the game? Or did Kendrick's reaction prove that the next generation of rap was here to stay? The world was watching. The battle had begun, and one thing was for sure, this wasn't over. The industry had been rocked, and the only thing left to do was watch as the saga unfolded. Stay tuned, because the true legacy of these two rap icons is just beginning to take shape. What happens next will shape the future of hip-hop forever. The Grammy night was a total game-changer, right? 50 Cent made a bold move, but Kendrick came back with that calm, controlled power. Now, who do you think really won this showdown? Was 50's power play enough to remind everyone who truly shaped the game, or did Kendrick prove that his crown is solidified? This drama isn't over. The streets are still buzzing. Fans are divided, critics are weighing in, and the question on everyone's mind is what happens next. Will 50 make another power move, or has Kendrick already sealed his legacy? And don't forget, who's going to control the rap game now? You know, I want to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Do you think 50 was justified in his move, or was Kendrick the real king for the future of rap? Smash that like button if you're loving this crazy ride, and hit that subscribe button because you're going to want to be in the loop for all the latest updates. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this drama unfolds. And make sure you turn on notifications so you're first to know when we dive deeper into this beef, and whether this battle marks the beginning of a new era or if Kendrick's reign continues. The conversation's just heating up. So whose side are you on? Team 50 Cent or Team Kendrick? Let me know your hottest takes and let's get this debate going. Stay tuned, because this saga is far from over. There's so much more to uncover, and it's about to get real wild.